Hey guys, Jay here, and welcome back to the channel. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the notifications bell to stay informed with all of the different content we provide here on the channel. So I hope you've had a really nice weekend. This week is going to be a very interesting week, so I hope you've got a lot of rest and you're ready to move into this new forming movement, which is Terra Classic. And why I'm saying this is for a very specific reason that we've just never seen everybody just parlay, just get in a space, speak to each other, no arguments, no friction, no snarky comments, no nothing. Everybody is just moving towards one direction. And although we're not going to be able to please everybody, we're not going to be able to get everybody to come back that left. But what is important is that we are all here and we are moving together in a collective manner, moving towards a unified goal. And that is to restore the Terra Classic blockchain. So when it comes down to this merge and all of the talk around a merge, for me, a merge is completely out of the question. And it would be a very silly thing for us to focus on moving forward. And I think all we need to do, like I've said in my previous video, if you've missed that, is to just turn the lights on, mow the grass, plant some seeds, and make it look nice and pretty over here. And if they want to come back, they can come back moving forward. And other than that, we should progress as we have been recently. So we have got this space, which is being put forward on June 18th. So that's Tuesday for me. It is tomorrow at 4 p.m. And the reason why this is so important is because they've actually quoted in Chris Amani's tweet here saying, with the proposed settlement now public, I can finally share some details about what is next for TFL. Well, I don't think there's any confusion as to what's happening with TFL. TFL itself is shutting down, and that is stated in the court documents. So we do know that, but what I'm hoping is in this space is they're going to give not just the Luna community the opportunity to come up and ask questions, but also the LUNC community to also come up and ask those questions, because we are involved in this as well. So as you can see from the thumbnail of the video, we're going to be talking about just exactly how much there is that could possibly burn. And to be quite honest, right, regardless of what happens here, and we'll point this out throughout the video, and we'll kind of go back and look at a historical account of this, is regardless of what happens, we are on the higher ground. We have the upper hand, okay? And we are looking down on this thing, and we've got a lot of options moving forward. One of the options is to let this thing take its course and hopefully TFL burn the keys or burn the coins entirely. The second option is we watch it all go to the SEC. And the third option is we simply just blacklist all of the assets and remove them from our total and circulating supply, thus, therefore, burning the coins. So you've got two options where realistically they're going to get burned either way, because even if they burn the private keys, we would still go through and remove those wallets from the total supply. So every outcome of this for me is bullish, because regardless of what happens, from my point of view, they're getting burned. I don't make independent decisions here on the blockchain. Nobody does. It's a decentralized decision going forward. And I already know with previous historical accounts and the data that we have, that we can see that the likelihood is a proposal would go up and those funds, wallets, they would all be blacklisted and removed from the supply count. So let's take a look at what possibly could burn and what really affects us. So we did a Twitter space on Saturday for the Penguin community, and then we did one on Thursday for the LUNC community, and those are both there every week moving forward for anybody to come up, talk about their project, shill, whatever. But we were talking in this space about Luna Foundation Guard specifically being created during a time when Luna itself didn't exist. So we know that the tickers have not been updated here. So we know that UST is in fact USTC. So there's actually 1.85 billion USTC that's either going to be burned, or you guessed it, burned. And then Luna, there is 222 million. So that Luna is actually Luna Classic. So what we've got here is 1.85 billion here in USTC, and then 222 million Luna Classic. So it's a decent amount to be removed from the supply, and it's something for us to all collectively I wouldn't say use as a narrative, but say to everybody, look, hey, we're going to have a considerable amount of coins being removed from the supply. And for USTC, this is gold. This is very good news. And it's not just here in the LFG reserves where we've got funds that could possibly be burned. And like I said, the possibility of these coins being burned, it's very high. There's a very low percentage that we as a community would simply just sit back and allow these things to happen. And that's the beauty of having a truly decentralized blockchain where every decision comes down to the validators and community having their say and having their sway. And there's a lot of people who say validators run the roost, they control everything, but you yourself, if you're staking with a validator, can go in and veto a validator's vote. So therefore, right, you yourselves, the community, are the ones that have total control over this blockchain. The way that I look at it is you're just not unified in that approach. You can be unified in that approach and you could move towards that. Obviously, LUNC being so decentralized, it doesn't work like that. Once again, this is the beauty of a decentralized ecosystem. Many different minds that might not agree with each other all of the time, but collectively come together to make that decision. So as we can see here in this schedule of digital assets, and this one's really good because they distinguish non-Terra Classic native assets up top and then the Terra Classic native assets below. So we know the SEC knows that there's two sides to this coin, which for me, once again, looking at the terminology of this thing, for me, it shows and it distinguishes, right, that they know that we exist. They know that this other blockchain still exists, and they must know about the LUNC community itself being a decentralized ecosystem that's literally run by the community. So like I was saying, we've also got some funds in here. So there is currently, there could be more in here now because this is the schedule for February up here at the top, as you can see. So we're now in June, almost coming into July. So it could be a considerable amount more. And some people would say, well, why would it have changed? And I would say, once again, let's look at the previous month. And they only had $10,000 worth, $10 million worth of USTC. So this is really interesting because it's gone up. And the value of USTC didn't fluctuate that much during that time. So I just don't know really what is actually here inside this schedule. And there's definitely stuff that's on DK's Trezor. And there's all sorts of different wallets that we use to manipulate the vote during the crash. We've got hard evidence of that as well in some of my first ever videos here on the channel. So once again, we could see a considerable amount. Now, what we would need to do is go back and take a historical account of price, and then we would need to correlate that to see how many USTC coins they actually have. So $70,000 worth of LUNC is probably going to be, I would say, around the billion mark maybe during that time. I could be wrong there. My numbers could be slightly off. Someone can correct me in the comment section because the price of LUNC does fluctuate a little bit from time to time. But this is all good stuff. It's gold. It's good. It's stuff to look forward to. And for us, once again, we have the higher ground. We have the upper hand in this situation. So when it really does come down to all of the different perspectives on this, I'm just holding one simple perspective moving forward, is that we have control over this situation. And that's very unusual for us as a blockchain to have any control over any situation that's really going on, because throughout this whole thing, and this is why I'm so fully against the merge as well, because at every opportunity we've been kicked by the Luna community, we've been shunned, and we've been pushed down, and it's now all of a sudden they need us. And I'm just not going to be that person that sits there. And although we should parlay and although we should meet in the middle, I don't think meeting in the middle is a merge. Meeting in the middle for me would be a unification of the change, just simply working together, opening up the lanes of communication and not merging, because with a merge there's always going to be a losing party. So I'm going to do a lot more videos on all of this. We're going to be going into a lot more things in depth. The space this week is looking very interesting. I've got a lot of people contacting me saying, can we come up, can we speak? Anybody can come up, anybody can speak, not just projects, people from the community, delegates, validators. Even if you're not part of the LUNC community and you want to come up because you're building a project or you've got a project and you're thinking about launching on this blockchain, come up and speak to us. Let us know. Maybe we can help you out. Maybe we can give you pointers, tips, a helping hand, maybe some donations. Who knows where it could lead to? But in these situations, the more you network, the more your net worth will become. Guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the notifications bell to stay informed. And other than that, stay safe, stay humble, stay aware. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one.